Okay.
Hey everyone, we're here and we're ready to rock and roll. This is the Chat, Chew, and You show, episode 2. And today we are here, me and Keisha are here to talk about the inner bully and how to stop being mean to yourself. So I'm excited about this topic. I'm ready to dig in right away and get started on this. So, Keisha, how are you today?
I am better. I am suffering from a horrible cough from a stupid cold. And so I will be making me a hot toddy after this and try to find me a nap. But in the meantime, I am. So this is chat chewing you, but for me it's chat sip and you. I have my cocoa with me today that I'm going to be sipping on. So it's all about hot liquids for me right now.
And you know what? The funny thing is, I wanted to sip too. So today, I actually was craving some tea. It's kind of getting to that season, right, where we want like warm drinks and stuff.
And I hate tea. I've tried all types of flavors. I just can't get with tea.
Okay, so what is it that you don't like about tea?
The flavor. I don't care
Okay.
if it's peppermint or the flavor. I don't care about the flavor of tea. The actual tea and the smell of it just doesn't mix well with me. I've done herbal teas for quarterly cleanses and things like that, and it's always me doing this, trying to drink the tea.
Oh.
And it's like, oh my God, I just cannot stand tea. I've tried cold teas, hot teas. Me and tea just are not best friends at all.
Oh man. Okay. Well, are you a coffee person?
Not a coffee person. I'm a hot
Okay.
chocolate chick.
Okay. Okay. I feel you. So you want to get us started on our topic today?
Yes, yes, yes. All right, guys. So today we know that the topic is our inner bully. How do we stop being negative towards ourselves? And one of the reasons this has become a topic for me lately, anyway, is because we all do this. We all talk about ourselves. We all have this inner chatter in our heads sometimes, and it's negative, right? When you think about the voices in our heads, how many times is it really, really positive, more so than negative, right? To a point
Right.
where I thought, are we really just negative beings in this? As when we are coming out of the womb, are we just automatically negative beings? Of course, we know that's not true. Everything is a learned behavior, but I think this is a topic that is near and dear to me because there's a lot of just negativity in the world. Why be negative to ourselves, right?
Right.
Um, a little bit ago, I did write a post about being a bully. And when we hear the word bully, what do we think about first? We think about kids bullying other kids,
Right.
or even adults bullying each other. But we don't really talk about bullying ourselves, right? So, Ivy, for instance, I can sit here and I can talk about you. I can say all types of negative things about you. What will your reaction be? Go.
I know me.
What will
I'm
you
gonna
do?
get, I'm gonna get upset. I'm gonna be offended. I'm gonna automatically be on the defense, because you're talking about me,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna start thinking of ways to probably dispute. If you have something negative to say, I'm gonna say, no, you're wrong because I'm gonna come up with probably about 10 or 15 reasons why
Okay.
you're wrong. Like I'm lazy, or I'm unattractive, or I'm mean, or I'm irresponsible. I have
Hmm.
15 or 20 different examples as to why that's incorrect, and I'm probably gonna those are gonna come to mind right away, and I might share some of those with you.
Okay. All right. And I'm sure that even after that, and I'm still like this at you, just throwing out stuff at you, you're
Hmm.
probably going to leave me alone,
Oh
shut
yeah.
it down, what have you. You just some other stuff you probably will do. Um, so think about that, right? When other people do this to us, we automatically have our just that or refute whatever it is I just said. Now think about the times that you have told yourself those exact same things. You are lazy, you're a procrastinator, whatever it is. Did you immediately come back with those 15 ways that you are not those things?
No. I would say when I have had those thoughts in the past, it has been probably 15 reasons as to why that's correct. So what I mean by that is if I was overwhelmed by negative thoughts, like um okay, you're just really bad at one of the things that has always been a struggle for me is like physical things, like athletic things or fitness or whatever. So it's like, you really suck at sports. And then I'm gonna think of like 10 reasons why. Remember that time you tried to play baseball? Remember that time you were on the basketball court and you fell or you couldn't join? It's gonna be these thoughts that from the beginning of childhood to now as to why I'm not good at athletic things or physical fitness.
Exactly. Exactly. And then, okay, so now let's think about that, right? So this happens all the time. Like there's a study that said, and I'm paraphrasing here, so don't quote me, but we have over 200 negative thoughts per day going on in here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. Now, of course, we have like a whole bunch of thoughts on a daily basis, but so over 200 negative thoughts. If we just sat down in a room quietly all day and we had something hooked up to our head that can actually count every time we had a negative thought and would like zap us or something when we had that negative thought, we would be more aware of what they are. We're not aware of them, right? So that's one of the reasons why it goes on and on and on, because it's in our heads. And sometimes when it's in our head and it's not out, we don't speak it out loud sometimes. We tend to just ignore it or hope that it goes away or not even paying attention to it. But what happens is our subconscious relays those ideas or those thoughts and it manifests in our lives. And sometimes we wonder, well, why am I not athletic? One is because you told yourself you weren't. Two, that means you're not going to go do things that athletic people do, right? So that keeps you out of that athletic game, right? You won't go and try to do different things. Okay, so that's what I mean by we are so negative to ourselves. We're our own bullies. We don't stand up, right? We don't stand up to those thoughts, and we're not taking control over our own thoughts. And that just gives us a whole bunch of problems and issues later on down the line that we are not even aware of. We can't pinpoint, okay, this is happening to me right now because of the thought that fostered in my head or festered in my head from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Put the two together. But there are a lot of times that, when kids grow up and the parents tell them you'll never be anything and, just call them all types of names, and they grow up, we can pinpoint that because they can go to a therapist and say, well, my dad said I would never be anything, and I never thought I would be anything, so now I'm not anything. You know what I mean? We can correlate that, but we don't correlate what's in here to our actions and the decisions that we make. So that's why this is an important topic, one that we all should just think about and figure out what we're saying to ourselves. Another thing I will point out is that a lot of people, anytime you hear someone says positive self-talk, like every day in my office, I have this I am plaque, I guess, on my wall. It has a whole bunch of just words, original, generous, kind, clever, just like over 50 words on this wall. And as I say them, I'm talking to me. It's like I'm speaking into a mirror and I'm talking to me. And every word, I think of a way that I am or have shown myself to be that word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm not just calling words. I'm not saying I'm dynamic, compassionate, fabulous, intelligent. No, I actually think about a time I have been dynamic, a time I have been compassionate. So that type of exercise, I think, is something that we can do. Positive self-talk is not hoo-coo, is not, this new agey type of stuff. No, it really is something that if we have negative self-talk, why can't we have positive self-talk? And why the positive part got to be the woo-woo type of stuff? You know what I mean?
I totally agree. And with you saying that, first of all, I love the way that you're encouraging us to pair positive words with positive experiences, because when we reference the experiences, we actually connect with the emotions and the feelings of that moment. And so, you know, it's like you were saying, I can think of the time when, I'll give my own example with athleticism. When I was in school and we were playing kickball and I kicked it really high and it like went past the bases and everybody was able to come home and make the home run and all that. So it's like all these emotions like, oh yeah, everybody was cheering for me. And you know, so it's like when you think about those moments, then it reinforces it's not just empty words. I really love that tip.
Yes, yes. Do it.
When you were talking, one thing that came to mind for me was that in IIN, which we're both students of IIN, which is Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and Joshua Rosenthal brought up the point that it's so easy for us to reference like our negative memories, which is what you're saying, and we'll forget the positive memories. So it's like, you know, if we think of our childhood, it's like, oh, well, like you're saying, my parents said I wouldn't be this, people made fun of me in school, the teacher, whatever, but we'll forget that one teacher who told us that we were really great in art, or that one teacher who told us that, you know, we were a really great student, or that one friend who did play with us on the playground and was like that really true blue friend, or that one time in high school, you know, where we really did great on a project and got an A. It's like we remember all those negative things and they stick out in our head. So that really came up for me when you were talking as well.
Yes, yes, yes. We equate the negative stuff so easily. But now that we know what the problem is, now we know what the issue is, now we know that we have this going on in our heads, right? And this helps us make decisions. It helps us go about our lives personally and professionally. So there's a lot of repercussions that can go on if we continue to allow us to be our own bully.
Right.
So we just actually mentioned number one. We're going to talk about some ways that we can, you know, release this bully, you know, fight back with the bully, right? And stop the bully, basically. I will tell you that just like with anything else, a lot of times it will not go away in one day. You won't probably wake up tomorrow and say, no more negative thoughts. And that's not really our purpose here. Our purpose is, we will have those thoughts. So our purpose is to try to understand why they're coming so often. We have so many a day. And then how to turn those around. So that's what we're talking about today. So the first step is awareness. We all know that, right? And everybody who is listening to this right now has step one down pat. We are now aware that we have these thoughts that are directing our lives, right? So we know that. So step one, would you agree?
Awareness. Oh yeah, we've got that established.
All right. So we got awareness. All right, so and part of that awareness is just recognizing. As you get a negative thought, as a matter of fact, from this point on today, let's try this today, as the next negative thought you get, you could be driving along, listening to your music, and something pops into your head. We know how thoughts work. Something pops into our head. You didn't clean your house up before you left. You are lazy and you're a bum. Whatever that thought is that may come in your head, right? So, you know, let's take that. So just recognize it. Don't try to, like, oh my God, I want to think about elephants instead. No, don't do that. Recognize that that was a thought, right? And just let it flow. Let it rise and let it flow. You've recognized it, right? So that's the next thing. Recognize that you have the negative thought. Watch how you verbalize it. Now, here's another thing that I do when I'm in my car by myself, especially when I have these moments. What I like to do is repeat it out loud because it helps me to hear it, right? And I'll say, so I'm a lazy bum, huh? Yeah, I'm crazy like this. This is how I talk to myself. So I'm saying, oh, so I'm a lazy bum, huh? Kind of like I'm having a dialogue, right?
Right.
So if somebody else told this to me, I'd be thinking, oh, so you call me lazy because I didn't have time to clean my house before I left home. You know, I say it like that. So I verbalize it just as I normally would. Now, the next step into that is to rephrase or redirect that thinking. One of the best ways I can see us doing that is, as an example, let's just continue to use this as an example with the I'm lazy because I didn't clean my house. How about I turn that around or rephrase that thought to say, no, I'm not lazy. I had something that I had to do to get out the house to do, but I will clean it up later when I have the time. I chose to use this time to prepare for whatever it is I'm getting ready to do, to prepare for this meeting, to get there on time. So I rephrased that thought and I said it aloud. Sometimes you got to talk to yourself out loud. Bump whoever said if you're talking out loud, you're crazy. Whoever said that I should want to shoot them. But yes, so rephrase that thought. No, I'm not lazy. I chose to go to my event, be there on time, and be prepared, and then I can deal with cleaning the house later.
I love it.
Yeah? You agree? Any other examples we can get with rephrasing?
I can go to my example with like the whole athletic, and this is not a fictional thing. This is real. I've blogged about it. I've shared about it on my blog. That's been a challenge for me. It's like framing my mind around being, athletic. So, if that thought comes to mind that, I'm trying to think of like a negative thought that may come up. Okay. Oh, you did really horrible with those running intervals. You're horrible at that, right? So if I were to verbalize that, then come back and say, well, at least I tried today, and I'm better than I was when I started. And if I continue to do it, I'm going to be even better. And I'm doing this to work on my health and fitness. And, I love myself for trying. So those would be, I would think that would be a positive comeback. Or another example for those of you that might try another type of fitness. Like I know when I first went to yoga, it was like, okay. That it's kind of like, okay, how do I fit myself into this? I've never tried it before. It's something new, so I might go in there and say, I'm horrible at yoga. This is not for me. And to rephrase that, I could say, I'm trying something new. The more I try, the more flexible I will become. And I'm glad that I even showed up for class today. So I would say that those would be examples of ways of rephrasing things that would be, for me, like in the area of physical fitness.
Perfecto! Love it. Yeah, and it's really that simple, guys. It's not anything hard. Just turn it around and make it real. Just turn it around and make it real for you.
Yeah.
And use your own phrasing. When you rephrase things, use your own words. I've talked about affirmations before on my blog a lot, and because the ones that I may use may not, you may not like those, or they may not resonate with you, the words that we use. So when you rephrase, make sure you use your own words.
Yeah.
Whatever your language is, use that. So rephrasing. We got awareness, recognizing our thoughts, rephrasing those thoughts, turn them around, and then the last one of the step 4. Know that you are in control and you have a choice.
Yes.
Okay? You have a choice in every single thing that you do, including the choice to agree or not agree with your thoughts.
Yes.
And that's every single thought that passes through. Sometimes that is all you want to do, is let it pass through. It can come and it can go. You don't have to, sit in it. You don't have to sit with it, and you don't have to own it and become those negative thoughts that may appear. So now that one could be a hard one. Control is just one of those words that sometimes have a negative connotation to it. However, I don't want you to think that you have to control the thought. No, you control whether you accept that thought. So that's the difference.
Right.
I want you guys to understand that. Whether you can control thoughts. We're not going to. That's a whole different subject. But what I want you to understand is, as they come through, recognize it, let it pass if you have to, or if it comes often. That's another thing. As you're recognizing your thoughts, If there are thoughts that occur often, then yes, this is when you really need to dig in and try to go backwards and understand where this thought come from. That may
Yeah.
help you to understand how to rephrase that thought as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
And another one thing that comes up for me, and it came up before you even said this, and when you said this, I'm like, yes, confirmation. But the fact that, when we accept things as our truth, then we walk in those things as
Mhm.
truth in our life. And we can always go back and change what is our truth. And by that, I mean, if I'm constantly telling myself I'm not athletic, when I embrace that, and it becomes my truth, and you were referencing this earlier, and I walk in it, now I'm living my life as if that's my truth. But at any time I get ready, I can change my thought around that and say, yeah, I'm athletic. I can be anything that I want to be. I can be, physically fit. I can be, I can enjoy fitness. I can go out and try different types of fitness. I can be successful. Maybe not at every single sport or every single activity, but there are some things out there that will work for me. And that's one thing that I had to do to change my mind around. Like, I found things that work for me. Like, I love yoga. I love dance class. Running, I don't enjoy. So it's like I had to find the things that work for me, and then as I tried them and began to change my mindset around me being a physically active person and feeling more positive around it, then I did have more positive experiences. So now it's like I can go into dance class and I'm really great at dance class. I can go into yoga and I do really good, and because I have these positive thoughts and these positive emotions around it. But we have to recognize what we've come to embrace as our truth. So if you're bullying yourself and you're saying, I'm not that smart, I'm not that great at whatever, I'm not a leader, I'm not a good speaker, or whatever it is that you're saying about yourself, you have to realize that who is that true to? That's true to you, and you've embraced it as a truth. But when you decide to turn around and say, you know what, I am a good speaker. The more I practice, the better I'm getting. I am a good speaker, and continue, like Keisha says, it doesn't have to be something that's corny. Continue to say it to yourself and embrace it as your truth. Next thing you know, you'll be walking in it, and you can literally turn your own life around and turn your own experiences around and go from a person who is consistently criticizing and speaking negatively or bullying themselves to a person who is positive and even motivating other people. And I will say that I am an example of that. I've talked about that. I've blogged about that, how much I had body hate. I hated my body. I hated my experience. I hated being in this vessel that carries me around. And now I'm a person who goes out and tells people to love their bodies. So yes, it's possible to change your truth and change your own life story. You can definitely do it when you make the decision to do it.
Perfect.
Yes.
Love it. Love it. So I'm sure that our listeners may, hopefully they're nodding their heads as well in agreement in, yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start recognizing my thoughts. I am going to start rephrasing my thoughts and know that I am in control and
Yeah.
take over. It's like, if we continue to have negative thoughts, just know that they're going to continue to stay that way. We have to fill it
Yeah.
with something else. What can that something else be? Rephrased, more positive thoughts.
Yes.
It sounds simple, and it is simple, but it's going to be. It comes with any practice, just like anything else. It comes with practice.
Mhm.
So
It'll be
start
awkward
now.
at first, but don't stop.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Awesome. Well, thanks for you guys that tuned in and that were here. If you weren't a part of the live show, there's a couple of different ways that you can still interact with us around this topic and this show today. You can definitely leave your comments on the YouTube video. Both Keisha and I monitor it, so we'll definitely feedback with you and talk with you about it. And if you have any questions, or if there's a particular area in which you're struggling, please leave a comment on the video and let us know. Or if you've had success in this area and you have other ideas of how people can overcome this, leave their comments about that as well. And then you can also always email us at chatchuandyou at gmail.com, and you can visit chatchuandyou.com to find out what our next topic is going to be, and to sign up for our newsletter so you can get announcements about our upcoming topics and any other events that we have going on. Did I miss anything, Keisha?
No, I think you covered everything. If you have any particular topics too, guys, please let us know that you want us to cover, or even that you want to share with our viewers. So if you have a particular topic you want to hop on with us and share with our viewers, please let us know that as well. So love to see you.
Yes, and we will be having guests coming up as we do the show a little bit more. We'll have you all come on and actually be on the screen talking and chatting with us. So that will be coming up. So definitely, like Keisha said, let us know if you're interested in being a part of any of that. But until then, we thank you for showing up for the show and being a part of it, and we look forward to the next one.
Toodles!
Peace!